with this task, it's very much based on difficult levels of questions in the exam, and there's a lot of follow-up questions we can be asked here. So the first thing to look at is the actual marking scheme information at the bottom. You see there's 3 different levels, 1 to 2 marks for a kind of basic answer showing simple knowledge and understanding, all the way up to 5 to 6 marks showing a well-developed, sustained line of reasoning. So even your technical knowledge is being assessed here, as well as the structure of your answer, so it's got to be really well written. So what have we got? We've got 2 tables. We've got one machine versus another machine, really, and really what we've got to do is look at each feature and compare them. So hopefully the first one you spot is the processor. Now the first thing that jumps out at me is that the processor for the second machine is slightly faster. So I would be commenting on why having a slightly faster processor is better for the performance of a computer system. Now, what we have to look at here is someone who is storing and editing images. So if this person is carrying out any activities that involve editing this photo, those particular instructions, whether it's loading the program or loading the actual image files and then carrying out any tasks on those, each individual instruction would be completed faster on the processor. So editing or saving, compressing, whatever instructions it is, would be completed faster on the second machine. However, if we look at the extra information it's given, we'll see that the first one has a dual core processor, which means even though the instructions in machine A will be done slightly slower, it can carry out 2 instructions at the same time, which means overall more activities could be completed at the same time in a shorter space of time compared with B. So think about something you can do which is to do with video editing or photo editing, saving files, that we can relate to having a dual core processor which is slightly slower. Now the second feature we want to compare them on is RAM. Now remember, RAM is the temporary memory which is used to store programs and instructions whilst it opens. So with this extra 2 gigabytes of memory that the second computer system has, we can either have lots more images loaded and open at the same time, which means it could work and edit more photographs in the second computer system, or they could have larger, more complex programs open at that time, so perhaps they could upgrade to use a more complex, a more industry standard photo editing application, or have several editing applications open at the same time, whereas with processor A or computer system A, you wouldn't be able to have as many applications open at the same time. So again, link that back to video editing, or photo editing rather. Third feature, backing storage. Now this should be the one that should be very easy for us all. The more storage space that we have, the more files we can store. So B wins in this category again, in that they can store more images in their back-end storage. So for someone that's going to be creating a lot of photographs, they'll want to have as much storage as possible in order to save them longer term. They will be longer before they run out of memory and have to upgrade or think about deleting old photos. Cache, we should try and explain what it is, but hopefully we can look and see that system A has got more cache memory. Now, cache is the fast access memory which is located on the processor chip, and it stores the most commonly used instructions, and computer system A has got twice as much cache memory. That means on the most commonly used instructions, it will carry them out much quicker than having to load them up from main memory. and wait for slower processor. That means that those instructions will be loaded much faster and there'd be much less waiting time and allow the processor to get on with other tasks. So if that was instructions like loading files or loading and editing files, those would be carried out much quicker, allowing the processor to then go on with other jobs. Display is next. So we've got system A with 16-bit, and we've got system B with the one that says true colour, which relies on us knowing that true colour is 24 bits per pixel. So obviously in this case system B is much better. Someone that's editing graphics is going to want to view them in the highest resolution possible. So having that 24-bit true colour means that the images aren't going to be compressed when they're displayed on screen, so they'll see the full true quality of their pictures. But then the drawback to that is that there's a lot more memory to be displayed on the screen at a time as well. But focus mainly on the fact that the images will display true and accurate as long as they were actually photographed in true colour too. Final feature then is the data transfer rate. Now we can link this to saving and opening files. So in this case system A has a much faster data transfer rate, so that obviously means that when we're saving files into the backend storage, that job would be done much quicker, and again just freeing up the processor time much quicker to go on with doing other jobs. So if they were saving lots and lots of files, then obviously having that higher data transfer rate is going to ensure that the processor's free in a much shorter space of time in order to go on with other tasks. What you should also do is draw a conclusion to say which computer system that you would buy and why, or recommend buying and why. And again, just draw back on the different features we've compared and choose and explain why you would buy that particular system, just as a final paragraph to this question.